Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm just doing this introduction because I was editing and putting together all the clips that I'd got, and I realised I'd got far more clips than I thought from earlier in the month. So this vlog is going to be very much a February roundup. So it may be a little bit choppy and changey, and I apologise for that, but it's got some beach content, a bit of swimming, some ponies, lots of talk about the ponies, tractors, and just general catch up really on what I've been up to in February. So I hope you enjoy. I hope it's not too jumpy around and that you can follow what's going on. I'll try and put captions on the screen to help with that. But yeah, I just thought I'd better add a little bit of an extra intro to explain that it covers over 3 weeks, little bits here and there and everywhere. So enjoy. It's Friday, 25th, I think, 26th, somewhere around there. It's a week after Storm Eunice. I didn't video very much the last few weeks because we've had an awful lot of stormy weather, which I'm sure you can't have failed to notice, because no matter where in the country you are, you've probably had at least one storm, if not 2 or 3, or even, I believe, 4. But as you can see today, blue skies, there are some clouds, but it is sunny. Almost still. There is a slight breeze, but we are only 2 miles inland, as I've said several times before, so we get a breeze pretty much all the time. But today it's lovely. It's just very gentle. You can see I've just put the hay and the haylage out in the field today. I usually use the nets, as you know, on the fence, but it's getting quite poached with mud, and although the wind is drying it really nicely, I just thought it'd be nice for the horses to stand out in the open, which they can do today because the hay's not blowing anywhere. I've got some haylage out as well, which is what Monkey ID's on here. I was running a bit low because I'd been feeding them more of our big bale hay, and I couldn't get any delivered the day I wanted it for various reasons. We went over a few days, and so I had to go and buy some small bale haylage from the local farmers sort of supply place. But they've got on fine with that. I mixed it in with a little bit of hay I had left, and it hasn't caused them any upset tummies or any behaviour changes or anything, so they're quite happy, and they seem still happy to eat the hay. I did wonder if it might put them off the hay, because the haylage is obviously greener and softer and looks more tasty, but no, they're quite happy. In fact, Regia has chosen, there is haylage, and she is still, where is she? That way, grey. She is still eating the hay, and she's the one with the, you would think, the least good teeth, because she's 24, I think now. But she's opting for the hay, so they've got free choice. They can have what they want. I should take their rugs off. I will do in a little while, but I wanted to just video this quickly. I put them back on in time for Storm Dudley, because in fact it wasn't quite in time. I came out in the morning of Storm Dudley, I think it was. It might have been a few days before that, and RD was shivering. It was cold. They were soaked to the skin, and once they get soaked and then the wind comes, they get the wind chill, and their coat can't fluff up and keep them warm anymore. So although in theory none of this lot actually need rugging, in reality you kind of have to look at what's in front of you. And even though they're well covered, even Regia's got decent weight, but the rest are certainly well covered, and they've got good coats. This is quite a hostile environment. They tuck in up in the hedges. We've got Cornish hedges, which are like stone walls. If you don't know a Cornish hedge. It's not a hedge in the way that you have it in other parts of the country. It's more like a Cotswold stone wall in the sense that it's like a dry stone wall. But it's got soil on the inside and it grows vegetation through it. So it gets wrapped in vegetation. So you look at it and it's green and growing and you think it's just like an ordinary hedge, but don't ever try to drive through one or into one, because there is a lot of stone in there and you will damage yourself or your vehicle. So it makes a really good barrier though, so it doesn't get blown over in the way that perhaps an ordinary hedge would. I mean, you can see, I've shown you before, the vegetation, the trees and the shrubs and things, and how you can see which the direction of the prevailing wind is just from the way that they've grown. They get very thin on one side where they just can't stand the wind. And that would happen with a hedge. You'd end up with quite a weak hedge. So hence, over the many centuries that they've been building these things, that's what a Cornish hedge is. They're very strongly reinforced with stone. So they can tuck into those, and they do. And my mum was quite amazed to see the video, and I will insert video clips variously through this, because I did video bits of Storm Eunice, which was the one last Friday, which was the one that had the red alert. And down here we had 90-mile-an-hour gusts of wind, and it really was quite nasty. But the horses were fine. They tucked their bottoms into the hedge, and then as the direction of the wind moved slightly through the day, they moved, and they chose different hedges to sort of shelter behind. So they know what they're doing. They haven't lived here long, but they've sussed it out incredibly quickly, and they know where to stand. So don't you? Yes. And you did really well. So with the rugs, just for a little bit of extra added warmth and protection from that wind chill, they've done really, really well. So I think looking at the forecast for the rest of this weekend, they can certainly have them off for the weekend and probably now into next week, because we are in March next week. How the heck has that happened? I've been down here since October and the horses have been here since the end of December. How? I don't know how that's happened. It's going to be a really busy day for me today. That's why I popped on now to say a quick hello, because I'll probably get some more video clips later, which I will insert. So last night there was the online raffle for the riding club, and I had 5 tickets. They were £2 each, so I spent £10, and I won 3 decent prizes. So I'm really, really chuffed with that. I've won some haylage. I've won some riding lessons with a lady, a freelance riding instructor roundabout. So I'm hoping she might come here, because I've got a reasonably flat field. If not, we'll have to hire an arena somewhere or whatever once I've got my lorry back. I'll sort that out. What else did I win? I won a beauty/nails treatment voucher, which is quite funny because I never do that kind of thing. So that might be quite nice. Or I might save it for when someone's coming and treat them. Maybe my mum or something. I don't know. I haven't quite decided yet. Nails were a complete waste of time. I would never keep them up. I'd do it once, that would be the end of it. I suppose I could have some kind of facial or something maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. I think that's possibly at Blackwater, so not very far from here. So that's cool. So that's the riding club, and then I've got another riding club thing this evening. There's a dissection evening. I missed one of these back in Worcestershire that my local vet did, which I saw advertised and I was just a bit too slow and didn't get the tickets. But it's lower limb dissection, so it's the hoof and the structures within the lower leg, which is quite interesting. So I thought it'd be nice. We've got tea and coffee and cake and stuff included, and it's quite a reasonable price. So I thought it'd be nice, a bit of a social occasion, but also I might learn something. Well, I should hope I will. I should learn quite a lot. So yeah, so that's this evening, and then in between those two things, I've got lunch. God, get me! I'm going out for lunch. I've got lunch with 2 tutor friends at the Watering Hole. I think they fixed their roof. If not, I think one of the other rooms is open because their sort of tent roof got damaged in Storm Eunice. But I'm pretty sure they've had that fixed this week. So that's the only bar on the beach in Britain, down on Perranporth. So we're going to go down there. And then afterwards, I think about 2ish, the Perranporth Blue Tits, which I've mentioned before, the chill water swimmers, they're meeting down there either to go in the sea if the conditions are okay, but otherwise in the tidal pool, because it's low tide then. And also what we call the mermaid pools, which are like the sand/rock pools. In the storm, they've got really deep ends, so one of them I think is deep enough just about to swim in itself now, so that's rather nice. That'd be good if it stays like that, because in the summer the children And you know, the tourists are going to absolutely adore that. So fingers crossed it stays nice. Hello. Yeah, so I'm going to be quite busy, and then I'll have to come back, do these guys before I go off to the dissection thing, which is about 6:30, I think. So yeah, full on day today. And I've also got to do some preparation because I've got some online tutoring starting next week. I've already been out and done an All Pets job this morning. I had some, let's turn that to get a slightly different view. I know it's in my, sun's in my eyes though. Yeah, I had an All Pets job over in Cuba, a neighbouring village. I went and did some cat feeding, and they've got cats and guinea pigs and rabbits. So I cleaned out litter trays for all of those because they're all kept indoors, and sorted them out, fed them all, made them comfortable for the day. Can't face that way because the sun's in my eyes. Yeah, so it's a busy day, and then I've got some time on the computer at some point, might be this evening, to start preparing for the lessons next week, the online lessons for tutoring. And I'm back in school doing my 2 supply jobs. So it's all go. Busy. It really feels today like spring's coming. So that was a very rambly 8-minute introduction, nearly 9 minutes. Well done if you stuck it out. I will pop in some video clips with captions so that you can see what a contrast last week was compared with this beautiful, stunning weather today. And then hopefully also there will be some other bits and pieces that I will pop in so that you can see what I've been up to. So I will speak to you again later. So yeah, as you saw, it was dark when the tractor arrived. It didn't leave Worcestershire till 3 o'clock. So by the time it got up here, or down here, it was about 9 o'clock and really quite dark. So I managed to catch a little bit of video just for posterity of it arriving. And it's had a little drive round, which I shall insert now. Who's squeaking? Tired, Ardy? Hello. So there you go. So that's something else brought that we obviously needed to move. So we've still got quite a few bits and pieces from the house. I'm still waiting for my lorry to come back from the garage. It's been there since Christmas, or before Christmas, so hopefully it'll be fixed soon, because that's our removal van. So yeah, so we've still got jumps and fence poles and all sorts of bits and pieces that need to come up here, as well as house stuff. So there. So welcome back. It's midday on Friday. It's that Friday of half term, and as you can see, the beach is actually fairly busy. I don't think anybody's out in the sea, not even surfers, because it's a really big swell today and it's quite messy. It's not very usable surf. Get me? I sound like I know what I'm talking about. I don't. However, if you look across to Chapel Rock, or Tit Rock as we call it, it is currently still surrounded by water, but by the time we get to our meeting time, which is 2 o'clock, the tide should be well out and we'll be able to access the pool and the mermaid pools around it. But until then, I'm going to go across to the watering hole because they've had their roof, I say they've had their roof repaired, I'm not sure they have. But anyway, I'm meeting two of my tutor friends for lunch. So that will be awesome. It's a really lovely place. I've still got my hat on because it's a little bit cool on the older years, and I do get earache quite easily when it's breezy, but it is really still, actually, you know, there's a very, very light breeze. I don't really need it. but it just gives that a little bit of extra warmth. I've just been shopping in the charity shop. I bought some moon boots for wearing after swimming. I've bought some jeans for £1.50. Gotta love a bargain. And I've been and picked up a little order that I'd done at Boots. So I still can't get over Boots being literally 30 seconds from here and just being right on the beach. So anyway, I'll check back in with you later. I just thought I'd show you how beautiful it is. And Perranporth itself is really quite busy this morning. It's lovely. Shops are open since half term. Surf shops and sort of gifty shops and the pasture shops and stuff. You know, all winter, virtually everything's been closed. So yeah, it's spring. Whoop, whoop. Good morning everyone, it's Sunday, mid-morning, and as you can see the sky is blue. There are some clouds up there, so just keep going overcast, but it's essentially a much nicer day today. It's a little bit breezy, but that kind of goes without saying in Cornwall in winter. We do get quite a lot of rain, but that's good because it makes the grass grow. But it's the wind I wasn't quite ready for. Although to be fair, the last couple of weeks have been exceptionally windy because we've had so many named storms. But it is really windy. However, today wasn't quite so bad. So I took the opportunity to take Miss Spirit, the bay over in the middle of the group there, out for a teeny tiny little walk. She, as are all my horses, they are pretty herd bound because they spend most of the time just doing their own thing like that. So taking one of them out of the field can be a little bit of, I was going to say trauma, I suppose it is traumatic for them. Spirit, to be fair to her, has just come out of the field. In the little flat area behind me here, I've done a little bit of, I suppose you could kind of call it lunging, but it was only on a head collar and a really long lead rope. But I was getting in the sort of driving position behind her hip so that I was getting her to walk away from me and we were going off a circle onto a straighter line. And I was working on getting her to stand when I asked her to and to walk on when I wanted her to. And if she broke into a trot, I brought her back to walk just with my voice, and sort of body position, that kind of stuff. So we did quite a bit of that on both reins. And then I thought I'd take her out onto the lane. So we stood in the yard, the farmyard at the bottom, and there's quite a lot of stuff in the yard, like, you know, most people's farmyards. It's full of bags and boxes and, you know, you name it, it's down there. So she was a little bit snorty, so I didn't get my camera out. But she worked through that. We opened 2 gates and she was fine with that. And then we walked along the lane a little way. And then, well, because she was fairly calm, you know, she'd been a bit, but she'd worked her way through it and she'd just come down again. While she was relaxed, I turned around and we came back to make it a nice, pleasant experience. So I didn't at any point have to push her through anything and, you know, push her out of her comfort zone too much. She had that heightened sort of tension, but she brought herself down, to be honest. She kind of just realised that it was okay. I let her stand and have a look and have a moment, which is all she needs really. She's one of these horses that she kind of freezes and gets herself rigid, and you can, if you're on her, you can feel her heart pounding. But if you just talk calmly to her, let her take a moment just to process, then she'll come down and she'll walk on again. And the key is me not joining her in that heightened tension, because obviously if I can feel her heart pounding and it makes my heart pound, then that makes her, you know, and it becomes a self-fulfilling cycle of tension. So I just have to remember to take a deep breath, just calm myself and just chill. And as soon as I just feel the tension start to go out of her, which is really easy if I'm riding in a cheetah saddle or bareback or whatever, because I can just feel her back go rigid and then start to relax so easily, I can just ask her to walk on, and she does. So we're doing that bit in hand today. So I'm going to build that up. I'm going to take advantage of days when it's not windy. There's no point trying to take any of them out in a gale. I'm just setting them up to fail, and obviously I don't want to do that. So yeah, so that was all good. RD desperately wanted to go out as well, didn't you, monkey boy? That one with the star. And actually Cherry looks quite keen, so I might bring Cherry out next into this little paddock and do a little bit in hand with her. The forecast is due to go absolutely shocking again tomorrow, really wet and windy. So I think, although they're rugless apart from Rouge, I think I might stick rugs on, maybe not the Dales, but on the other two Iberians, just because they were shivering last week when it was wet and windy. They get wind chilled quite easily. And yeah, I think the Dales will probably be okay. They've got thicker goats, haven't they? Yes. Cherry said, no, I want a rug on, thank you. And you don't, you'll be fine. But yeah, I think the bays probably need them. But yeah, so I thought I'd just check in. Before I go, I just thought I'd show you one of my prizes from the raffle. I said I went to the Riding Club raffle. I didn't go to it, I entered it online. And yeah, I got 3 prizes, and I've got the haylage so far, and the other 2 things are to come. I've got some riding lessons and a voucher for a beauty treatment of some sort. But I forgot to mention, I also went to the farriery dissection evening on Friday, and I haven't said anything about it since. And it was really good. It was really interesting. He was quite entertaining. He was an ex-army farrier, and he'd done a lot of farrier training in the army, and also training vets and things. So he'd worked at Melton Mowbray, as well as various places where he'd been sent, you know, with his army career. So yeah, it was really good. And he was not pro shoeing. He was not pro farriery over barefoot. He said, you know, he's met good and bad in both. And he was very much, because some of the people there had got barefoot horses as well. And he said, you know, if you've got a good barefoot trimmer and they're doing a good job for your horse, then by all means, you know, keep them. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And not every horse needs shoes. And, you know, he was very good. And he knew an awful lot about the anatomy, more than I realised that farriers usually know, if I'm honest. I don't know whether they all know as much as this. You know, I presumed they knew about the hoof, but I must admit I didn't realise they knew so much about the rest of the leg and the, you know, the actual entire horse, really. He was he was very knowledgeable, and it was a bit of an eye-opener. I did enjoy it very much. I didn't get hands-on. There were lots and lots of people who were quite keen to, so I was happy to just watch. You know, I didn't need to poke about. And also, I couldn't smell it because I've still got a cold, and I've been moaning about this cold for days, well, weeks in fact. But it was actually a bit of a blessing, I think, because some of the people said it did really smell quite rank. So I was quite glad. He'd got the legs from Dartmoor Zoo, apparently, the keepers there. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what has happened to the poor horse that we'd got, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so I won't dwell on that. But yeah, it was interesting. So that's me really for the weekend. This is going to be a bit of a raw edit, I'm afraid, because I'm back at work tomorrow. Got to go back to school. Don't really want to, but you know, needs must. Bills have to be paid, ponies have to be fed. So I'm back at work. So yeah, hopefully now we're turning a corner with the weather. It's the end of February, so it should be onwards and upwards from now on. Hopefully there should be more blue skies, less wind. I should be getting out more, doing more walking, hopefully getting out in the sea, on the sea, just generally out and about a lot more. And the vlog should be a little bit more interesting, I'm hoping. So please keep watching, please comment and subscribe so I can see that you are there. I am doing it for my own memories as much as anything, so that, you know, I've got a record, a video log of what I've been up to since I came down here. But it is nice to know that other people are watching as well, so do put a bit of interaction in, just to know I'm not talking entirely to myself all the time, because I do that anyway. It's nice to know someone's there. Sun's out again, it's so beautiful. Right, so I'd better go. It's getting on for lunchtime, and I need to get a few jobs done before I get those rugs back on those ponies and get them fed and ready for the grotty weather that's coming. But I'm going to make the most of the sunshine while it's here. So enjoy the rest of your week, and I will speak to you again in another week or so. Thanks for watching. Bye.